Have you ever wondered how an empire that shaped the Western world, an empire of gladiators, senators, and legions, began? It wasn't with a grand ceremony or a political declaration. The story of Rome's birth is a wild tale of gods, mortals, twins, and a she-wolf. Let's journey back in time, to the very dawn of the Eternal City. The year is 753 BCE. This is the date ancient Roman historians themselves calculated for their city's founding. Our story unfolds on the Italian peninsula, a land of rolling hills and fertile plains, specifically along the banks of the Tiber River. This wasn't the bustling metropolis we imagine today. It was a rugged, untamed landscape. The main characters of this epic are two brothers, Romulus and Remus. But their story starts even before they were born. According to the legend, their grandfather, Numitor, was the rightful king of a city called Alba Longa. However, his ambitious brother, Amulius, usurped the throne. To eliminate any future claimants, Amulius forced Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin, sworn to celibacy. But the gods had other plans. The god of war, Mars, was captivated by Rhea Silvia's beauty and visited her. From this divine union, the twin boys, Romulus and Remus, were born. King Amulius was furious and terrified. These boys, with their royal blood and divine parentage, were a direct threat to his rule. He ordered them to be thrown into the Tiber River to drown. But fate, or perhaps the river god himself, intervened. The servant tasked with the grim duty took pity on the infants. Instead of casting them into the raging currents, he placed them in a basket and let it float gently downstream. The river was flooded, so the basket eventually washed ashore at the base of a hill that would one day be known as the Palatine Hill. Just as the babies began to cry from hunger, a she-wolf, a creature sacred to Mars, discovered them. Instead of harming them, she miraculously nursed them, keeping them alive. Later, a woodpecker, another animal sacred to Mars, brought them food. This incredible scene of a wolf mothering human children has become one of the most iconic images in all of history. Eventually, a shepherd named Faustulus found the twins. He and his wife, Acca Laurentia, raised the boys as their own sons, unaware of their royal and divine heritage. Romulus and Remus grew up to be strong, charismatic, and natural leaders among the local shepherds. They were known for their bravery, often fighting off wild animals and robbers. During one skirmish, Remus was captured and taken to King Amulius. When Faustulus learned of this, he knew he had to reveal the truth to Romulus. He told him the story of the basket, the she-wolf, and their true identity. Filled with a sense of destiny and a desire for justice, Romulus rallied his fellow shepherds and marched on Alba Longa. He freed his brother Remus, and together they led an uprising that overthrew their wicked great-uncle Amulius. They restored their grandfather Numitor to his rightful throne. The people of Alba Longa celebrated their return, but the twins were restless. They didn't want to simply live under their grandfather's rule. They wanted to found a city of their own. They returned to the place where the she-wolf had saved them, the 7 hills by the Tiber River. But here, the brothers, who had been inseparable their whole lives, had their first major disagreement. They couldn't decide where to build their new city. Romulus favored the Palatine Hill, where they had been found, while Remus preferred the Aventine Hill. They also argued over who should be king and give the city his name. To settle the dispute, they decided to turn to augury, a Roman practice of interpreting the will of the gods by observing the flight of birds. Remus, on his hill, was the first to see a sign: 6 vultures. He was ecstatic, believing he had won. But moments later, from the Palatine Hill, Romulus saw a flock of 12 vultures. A fierce argument erupted. Did the sign of 6 vultures seen first take precedence, or the sign of 12 seen second? The conflict escalated tragically. In one version of the story, As Romulus began to build a defensive wall around his chosen site on the Palatine Hill, Remus, in a fit of mockery, jumped over the half-built wall, belittling its height and effectiveness. Enraged that his brother would so disrespect his new city and its sacred boundary, Romulus struck him down. His final words were supposedly, "So perish all who ever leap over my walls." With his brother gone, Romulus became the sole founder and the first king of the city, which he named Roma after himself. On April 21st, 753 BCE, Romulus officially founded Rome. But a city is more than just walls and buildings. It needs people. To populate his new settlement, Romulus declared it a sanctuary, a place of asylum for fugitives, exiles, runaway slaves, and anyone seeking a fresh start. Men flocked to Rome, but there was a problem: a severe shortage of women. This led to one of the most infamous events in early Roman history: the rape of the Sabine women. Romulus invited the neighboring Sabine tribe to a festival in Rome. In the middle of the celebrations, at a prearranged signal, the Roman men seized the unmarried Sabine women and carried them off to be their wives. This act, of course, led to a brutal war with the enraged Sabine men. The fighting was fierce, but just as a final decisive battle was about to take place, the Sabine women themselves intervened. They ran onto the battlefield, holding their newborn children, and pleaded with their fathers and brothers on one side and their new Roman husbands on the other to stop the bloodshed. They argued that no matter who won, they would lose either their families of birth or their new families. Their courageous plea worked. The two sides made peace, and the Sabines and Romans merged into one people, jointly ruled by Romulus and the Sabine king, Titus Tatius. This entire founding myth, from the she-wolf to the tragic conflict between brothers, is just that, a legend. Historians and archaeologists believe the actual founding of Rome was a much more gradual process. It likely began as a collection of small shepherd villages on the various hills, which slowly grew and coalesced over centuries into a single city. But the Romans themselves cherished and promoted this legendary origin story. So why was this myth so important to them? It explained their identity. It established that they were descended from a god, Mars, giving them a divine mandate to rule and a martial spirit. The story of Romulus offering asylum to all comers explained Rome's unique ability to absorb and integrate different peoples, a key to its later success. The tragic death of Remus served as a powerful, permanent warning against civil war and internal division, a recurring problem throughout Roman history. From this legendary and likely much humbler beginning, Rome grew. After a period of being ruled by kings, the Romans overthrew their last monarch in 509 BCE and established a republic. This new form of government, with its senators, consuls, and assemblies, was a radical experiment in shared power. It was this Roman Republic that would go on to conquer the Italian peninsula, defeat its great rival Carthage, and eventually control the entire Mediterranean world. The Republic eventually gave way to the Roman Empire under emperors like Augustus, Trajan, and Marcus Aurelius. For centuries, Rome was the undisputed center of the Western world, a hub of law, politics, engineering, and culture. Its influence is still all around us today. Our languages, our legal systems, our architecture, and our ideas about government all bear the mark of Rome. It all started on a hill by a river, with two brothers and a she-wolf. A story so powerful that it helped will an empire into existence. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to the founding of Rome. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more fascinating moments from history, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what historical event you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.